Hey, this is Cameron, and I figured I'd try something a little different here. Um, as you can see, I've been working on my kind of different black and white gradients. I forget what the actual word we're using is at this point, but I figured I'd do a video just to show this how this would go because I haven't had a lot of experience with art. Um, But as you can see, so what happened is I was listening to Clement's videos while I was working, trying to save a bit of time because I student teach as well. But going off of this, so what I realized what Clement wanted was for us to take something from last week and work on that. Didn't work out that way because, again, I was kind of trying to save time and I wanted to work on something new, so it actually Googled how to, or something that would, what do we call them, the scales. So we had our picture from last week, which I could have worked on, which was just basically a stock image of an iceberg, which I realized I was already kind of working on different black and whites and stuff, especially when it came down to the bottom of the ocean, different waters and stuff like that. But I'm actually kind of glad I was working on something new, because something that focused more on scale factors. I'm finding the word slowly. And using what I have, because the situation I'm in is I'm not an artist, and we're not doing the apologizing thing for that, and I'm not. Because I found a lot of tricks and ways I was able to enjoy what I was doing here. But my resources are limited. I've got a handful of things here, and thanks to Clement, I realized like 2H, 4B, like different graphite that my grandma had given to me since my supplies have still not got here. Blending Stump's my best friend. So basically, I just thought I'd video this because I was kind of inspired, but how we kind of went over this. So obviously, I just kind of looked at a stock photo that I'll probably link here that I have on my computer. Got the music going. And usually I was having Clement's videos going here while we are working. But just basically eyeballed what I saw here. It's just a stock photo. Basically, I was looking at scale factors, and this one kind of popped out at me. Something simple that I figured, yeah, I can tackle. And I was just looking at the different, textures or different colors we might see, like more of the whites there, grays, almost blacks. So I was like, okay, we can replicate this. Particularly right here, there's like a shadow that you see I tried to replicate with getting some darker usages of the 4B over, I think, what was a 2H for most of this, just like a heavy 2H. And I was able to do a lot of that. One thing I noticed, you kind of notice it here. So when we look at this photo, it's kind of got like this spongy texture about everything, including the back wall, but and the floor. But I didn't really want to tackle that. You'll also notice it's kind of my own take on it. Different strands went different directions as far as the actual pillars went. But just kind of taking in, I'll have to finish right here actually, because we have a little spot that needs to be dark and not white. But we'll be posting the photo online as well. Kind of my own take on this. Some things I ran into that are probably new for an artist is some smudging and stuff that you can see. But again, kind of with the spongy textures, I was kind of okay with that happening here and there. And I was trying to replicate the spongy textures here, but I was like, how's it going to do that? And how are we going to define like what changes, say, between where, different sides of this pillar would be. So we kind of outlined it, or I did, and kind of went with that. And one thing I tried to make use of that I did remember from like grade 9 ages ago was which direction I would go in. So see here, I was kind of trying to go like this direction, and then for this one I was trying to just go a slightly different direction. And then when we blend it, just kind of work at it. And the blending pencil came in handy a lot. I know you weren't saying you weren't the biggest fan of it, but it really kind of worked for me. Problem I noticed with that, just kind of a note, is I was using this page as well because it gets all darkened and I just have to clean it out to kind of work on the lighter textures again. I tried to stick to dark first, but mostly I was trying to work left or right since I'm right-handed. So that kind of, the spongy texture anyways, kind of came in, I think it's probably at its worst here, but we're trying to get those lines in the different directions. And then blending it kind of gave it this texture that I don't hate. That, again, this is probably the worst example where we might have some inconsistent white spots between the different edges of this bottom one. But I really like the way it turned out. Particularly, you can tell I'm working from left to right, and I was kind of figuring out what I was doing more as we went. It's, you know, maybe a bit more coarse here, and a lot smoother, and then particularly this area worked out really well, where we kind of got that spongy texture, but it really goes to this, you know, this kind of white here that I'm trying to replicate. So it worked out really well, and I have to apologize, I don't have the best lighting. Again, when the sun's out, we're going to take an actual picture of this. I'm going to finish some things in that regard, just because I noticed we have this one spot still. But I don't know, I just kind of thought it'd be fun, rather than typing everything out, to video this, rather than going through the process of, you know, typing it all out, because I got bad wrists and I'm pre-arthritic maybe, but yeah, this is just an example of someone pretty new to this working with what I've got, basically. And I do have a fair amount of supplies, but the UFV kit has not arrived here yet for either class, basically. So yeah, that's the situation. Just kind of been hanging out here for an hour or so, whatever we can handle. Got good reference points, can work while listening to class. There's not a lot of time to go around for me, unfortunately, so kind of doing what I can. Oh, and yeah, obviously made use of the ruler to kind of get a lot of these lines. Most of them, I tried to avoid the ruler. I tried to just kind of do little tracings when it came to maybe say like this line here. It's just like, okay, we can just eyeball that and visualize it ourselves. And I mean, as much as I like the ruler, I was like, okay, it does feel like a bit of a cheat, if that makes sense. But yeah, yeah, different factors went into this, and I just thought it'd be interesting to highlight what I did. And there's definitely room for improvement. The video shows, and like, it almost looks like from a distance this is just one side, and we're almost missing maybe a side that might be here, but you have to like really get close to tell that, yeah, there is a definition of what I did. Maybe we have some tips. I'm looking forward to them. You know, again, I was kind of directionally coloring things, and I would try and make it a bit inconsistent. So say like maybe back here we were, you know, going up and down vertically, and then here we're kind of going up and left, and then here we're going up and right. So like I was trying to use that to distinguish the different faces of these pillars from each other. I'll also cite the image if I can find it, other than it was just a Google search, but we'll include all that in the post. I still have to get I'll get an image of the scale factor, you know, 1 to 10. Wasn't super happy with that, so I'm going to do it again probably later in the week. But for now, we have this up. I'm going to put the video up and probably get the photo of the finished product when it's not raining outside in a good light, as well as the scale factors. So thank you.